What's up, everyone? Today I kind of want to make a video to help you guys get your first secret in the game, where you can find all the secrets in the game. I'm going to show you all the secrets that are like currently obtainable still, and it looks like there is going to be an update this weekend, like Saturday or Sunday. So some of these secrets might actually go away by then, so that's why if you see some secrets, like, I'm not going to mention them right now, but if you see some secrets of videos that you just can't get anymore, I will mention them when I go over them. And that being said, let's hop into the first secret. Okay, so the first secret I wanted to show you guys today is Judar. You can get him from the Christmas portals. A lot of people are doing them. The current Christmas event that's all the way in the back of play, when you beat and get to wave 50, you actually have a chance to get 2 secret portals, and one of the secret portals is going to be Judar. This guy right here, he's Magic Storm, which is a pretty good typing. He is super good. I'm going to show him off real quick just so you guys can see him. I'm going to show the portal on screen too, just so you guys can see like what that looks like. Judar, just keep in mind I have Reaper on him, so he's going to have an extra 50% damage. We're just going to upgrade him a little bit. It gets a bigger circle. We'll turn on VFX. Okay, we got VFX on now. We're going to keep upgrading him. So he gets Ice Dragons, which he becomes Cone. His damage is super high. The reason this guy is so valuable, honestly, in my opinion, is just because he's hybrid on placement. He's super high damage. Like, he's a very high damage unit. And then I'll show you also why he's super useful. Right here, Black Rain. You can see his SPA jumps up to 12, but it jumps up to 12 because Judar now becomes AoE. It becomes full AoE. I have double S on his damage as well, so it might be, and he's also limit broken, which I also made a video on, so if you guys are curious about that, you can go check that out. But we'll get one more upgrade here, and then you guys will see Judar's max damage. I'm not going to show it with magic buff, because I'm sure you guys could find hundreds of videos also doing that. I just wanted to show you what this guy does quick, and then I wanted to tell you where you get him. Okay, this is Judar, fully maxed out. No buffs, like all he has is idle buff, so he's getting like, I think 15% damage. And yeah, I mean, dude, he's doing 1 million every 11 seconds. He's full AoE. He's got pretty big range. I have a curse on him that lowers his range and lowers his SPA. So that's, his range actually would be a lot larger for you. So yeah, that's Judar. I highly suggest you guys get him. If out of all of these secrets, if you're wondering who you should prioritize, I think if you're a new player or you're coming back to the game, you just have older units that aren't like super meta and can't keep up with the game, I think Judar should be the first guy you go for. And I also think the next guy that I'm about to show off is also someone else you should go for. And yeah, we'll jump right back. Okay, so we have our second character right here, our second secret. We have Sid. Sid you can get from the Halloween event. There's no portals or anything you have to do like that. He's just going to be a drop from the Halloween event for beating wave 50. The Halloween event, I'd say, is a little harder than the Christmas event, especially with people macroing and stuff like that. So I suggest using the Discord or getting some friends to play with, because they'll make it a lot easier. But Sid is super worth it. And if you want to know the reason as to why Sid is super worth it, you can see right here. You see right next to ground where it has that like weird little black and white symbol. That's true damage. So there is a third damage type in this game other than magic and physical, and it's true damage. And Sid does true damage, and that's what makes him so amazing. He does dark as well. I mean, there's a lot of dark characters in the game, so that's not that crazy. I have Celestial on him, so he's going to be getting like a 33% increase to his damage. And let's start upgrading him. Alright, so he gets his first attack. He's going to stay circle. He gets like a slightly larger circle. Keep upgrading him, and then he gets Nuclear Self. This is, as well as Judar, this is also why Sid is super good, because he becomes full AoE hybrid. Basically, if you're a full AoE character in this game, you are super strong. They've been giving out a lot of full AoEs lately, but yeah, you are super strong if you're a full AoE character. And Sid is super strong from that. He benefits, I'd say, better from that, because he's true damage, full AoE. He gets hybrid on this full AoE upgrade, just keep in mind that too. We'll max him out. And here you go, that's his max damage. Mine's level 101, so he's actually not maxed out with his limit broken. Actually, he's not max level with his limit break, but this is still crazy damage. He's doing 700k every 9 seconds. He has crit because I have a relic on him. 41 range, and keep in mind he's true damage too, so he's not affected by physical and magic resistances or anything like that, which is super nice. So yeah, Sid, as I said, you get him from the Halloween event. He's a drop from the Halloween event. I highly suggest getting him. The only problem I'd say with Sid is you cannot buff him because there's no true damage buff. The only way you can buff him is with Griffith and Idol. Like there's no like magic or physical buff for this guy. And yeah, that's Sid. I highly suggest you guys get him as well. Him and Judar, I'd say out of this entire list, are like the most worth it to get. And yeah, let's hop on to the next character. Alright, so our third character right here we have is Ainz. Ainz is going to be our third secret. I think Ainz is super good. You could still get him. Ainz is going to be one of those secrets that you can always permanently get. He's not like a limited secret at all. He's still, in my mind, at least very worth grinding. Like some of these other secrets, you know what I mean? Like they're going to start aging out, but Ainz is just, he's that guy. He's that good. We're going to upgrade him a little bit. I'm not going to have enough money to max him, so I'm going to have to cut away when I have enough money. But we're going to max him a little bit. Get him to his next attack, spell Thunder. His circle just gets a little larger. So one thing that also makes Ainz super good is you can see there's like this little heart symbol. Every time he kills an enemy, it has like its own cooldown. I don't know how long the cooldown is. I'll put it on screen so you guys can see it. But every time he kills an enemy, he spawns this called a Shade Birth. And the more you upgrade him, the more HP these Shade Births are going to have. Alright, so this is also, like, we saw it with Judar and we've now seen it with Sid. Ainz also has this, where he becomes fully a Wii hybrid. If you've noticed, Ainz cost is getting super expensive now. I mean, this upgrade right here is 600k, but his damage goes up by a lot. I mean, look at his summons. It basically went up by 1 million HP. And his next upgrade is going to be 800k. We're going to wait to that, and I'll cut to it. I'll see you guys when we have enough money. Okay, so we have Ainz at his final upgrade. We're going to buy it real quick. You can see summons are doing 3.2 million. Like, they summon with 3.2 million HP. He has 48 range, 9 SBA, and he's doing 700k. This is amazing damage. And he also has a nuke on top of it. When he pops the nuke, like Nihilism, it says, you can see the enemies have this little clock effect on them. And if you walk over to Ainz, you can see he's doing a countdown. And once the countdown hits like 1, you'll see he just nukes everything that's on the map for his max damage. And it doesn't have a super long cooldown. Ainz, honestly, it's not that I don't think he's worth grinding, but I'm not saying he's only good with unique, but if you want a secret to get unique on, you probably want to get it on Ainz or Aizen. So yeah, that basically wraps up Ainz. And let's head back to the lobby. Okay, so for these last couple secrets, I'm actually not going to show them in game because a lot of these guys, I don't have them. I'll show them on screen and I'll show their max damage. I'll explain what they do, but I cannot show them in game, obviously, because I don't have them and I don't want to take anyone else. I don't want to take anyone else's like gameplay and anything and put it in my video, so yeah. Okay, so this is the last secret that I own. We have Bubblegum, so Boo, Kid Boo, you can get from, I'll take you over to it. You can get him from the raids. This is most likely going to go away next update, if I had to guess. Same with Halloween. You get Boo from the Sacred Planet raid. You get him from Act 5, and you get him from Act 4. Act 5, he's a 3%, but you can only do it 3 times a day. And Act 4, he's a 1%, and you can do it infinitely. Kid Boo is, I'd say he's still pretty worth it. He's the best Magic Rose in the game, in my opinion. He starts off as a ground-only unit, and then he becomes fully AoE and gets hybrid later on. He has not that high of an SPA. His DPS, the only reason I don't think he's super worth grinding out, especially since he's leaving soon, is because his damage isn't that great for what he does. I mean, as I just explained, there's characters like Sid, who do basically the exact same thing. There's characters like Judar that do the exact same thing, and they're just better. They have higher damage. Judar's hybrid on placement. Sid's true damage. They're both cheaper than Boo. So Boo is, I don't think he's bad, but it's just not worth grinding in my opinion, especially since he's leaving. Okay, so our next character, I'll go ahead and show it up on screen. We have Alucard. Alucard is actually going to be a secret they can as well. I'll take you over to it quick, but you can get him from the Halloween event. the only way that you can get him is by opening these capsules. You see the secret unit says 1 in 40,000. That is Alucard. That's how you get Alucard. Alucard, in my opinion, is still worth it. I'll show his max damage on screen. Alucard is not that expensive. He's 118k to max. He does magic dark, and his main gimmick is he's ground only. His main gimmick is that he has an ability that summons like a bunch of ghouls and ghoul riders, I think they're called, and they all have like a ton of HP. It's like an ability with I think a 120-second cooldown. It is super good. He's super good. I still think he's super worth it. He's a little annoying to grind because obviously he's a capsule secret, so you can only get a certain amount of candies per day, especially if you're AFKing or something. But yeah, Alucard, in my opinion, try and get him. Try to get at least him or Sid. The event's going away probably in like a couple days here, so yeah, I definitely suggest trying to get it. Okay, so our next secret that you can actually still get, I'm going to show him on screen, is Pain. Pain from Naruto. You can still get him from the, I'll take you over to it as well in game, but you can get Pain from the Naruto legend stages. You just come down here to Rain Village and you see how there's these portals that drop that just say question mark. If one of these portals drops from the legend stages, which I don't know the percent on it, but it's not, I don't think it's that rare, you can get a Pain portal, and then you can get Pain. Pain's whole gimmick is he is ground only. He is 90k to cost. He's physical light, and he hits 4 times, and he has knockback. He does pretty decent damage, but his SBA is super high. His main use, I'd say, is that he's a good support. Like, he's probably the best knockback in the game. I wouldn't suggest grinding for him because along with the Halloween units and Boo, I also think he's going to leave next update just because he's been here for a long time. And I don't really think he's worth it. His damage is kind of like mediocre at this point nowadays. And his, like, as I said, the only useful thing he does is knockback, which is obviously good, but you're not going to, like, you know, you're not going to, it's not that useful to where you should grind him. So yeah, that's Pain. And that leaves us with more secrets. So our next secret is going to be Lelouch. I'll show him on screen as well. Lelouch. So the gimmick and problem with Lelouch is you can pull Lelouch from the standard banner right here, the special banner. You can pull him from this banner. I'll show you his rates. Yeah, 1 in 400,000. You could pull Lelouch from this banner. Lelouch is actually super bad, which sucks. He's just super old. I mean, Lelouch has been out, I believe, since the game came out. So he's the oldest secret in the game. He's just kind of bad. He's just old. They haven't buffed him for some reason. His whole thing is that he summons these characters that actually like have guns and they like shoot enemies. Lelouch also gets an ability that can make enemies within his range walk backwards for a couple seconds, and that includes bosses, which is a pretty good support ability. But other than that, Lelouch doesn't really do anything. Like, his damage is awful. His summons, obviously, like, he doesn't do enough damage for his summons to be good. And his ability, it's like there's a couple other people in the game that have kind of something similar. So it's like, Lelouch just isn't good. The only good thing that you can get if you get Lelouch off the banner is definitely, like, he has super high trade value. Especially if you get a shiny, he has pretty high trade value. Hopefully someday they'll buff Lelouch, because they buffed a bunch of the secrets when this game re-released. So Lelouch, in my mind, definitely deserves a buff for sure. And that leaves us with our second to last character. We got Buddha. Buddha, you can actually get from the, I'll take you over to it as well, but you could get him from the Christmas event. He is also just like Judar, where you do the portal that drops from this event, but Judar's portal is way easier to get, in my opinion, than Buddha's. Buddha's portal is actually like super difficult to get. So if you get Buddha, I think that's super good. Buddha is actually very good. I think Buddha is super underrated, and I think people are hating on him a little too hard. Buddha's whole gimmick is he has these 3 different forms to his kit. He has an ability that can switch between 3 different weapons. So Buddha's 3 weapons, I'm just going to go off of memory because obviously the wiki's not up, so I can't exactly go check. But Buddha's 3 weapons he has one that's a hybrid line, I believe. He has one that's a big bleed circle, and then he has one that's just like a big flat damage circle. So with Buddha, if you get Buddha, you're going to be wanting to use that bleed one. That bleed ability on Buddha, that is easily his best damage form if you're like working for that. Buddha is super worth getting. He's super high DPS, one of the highest DPS units in the game, especially with his bleed. He's physical light. He is a little expensive. He's pretty pricey, but he's definitely worth it. He's going to have decent trade value as well because people really like his cosmetic. With wrapping up Buddha, let's jump into our last secret. Okay, so the last secret that I'm going to show off to you guys today, you guys all know him. You guys are all trying to get him. It's definitely going to be Aizen. You can see him in the back there of the Christmas summon. He's a 1 in 80,000 from the Christmas banner. That's the only way you can get him other than trading. Aizen, in my opinion, I think he's super worth grinding if you're trying to get him. He's going to have super high trade value, and also he's just a very good unit. The reason he's so good is because he has two things, I'd say, other than like just his damage, and he's fully AoE, he's hybrid on placement. Other than all of that, the thing that's going to make him age beautifully, the thing that makes him so good, is his passive and his active. So his passive is whenever enemies are 15% HP or lower, and that doesn't include bosses, they are set to a fragile state, which leaves them one hit to anyone. So not just him, to anyone, which is super strong. You basically just get to one shot that character. And then his active is on placement. Aizen is given the ability that makes all enemies on the map, including bosses, stunned for 5 seconds, whilst any 35% HP enemy or lower is set to an instant fragile state. So that means if they have 35% HP or lower when he pops this ability, they're all one shot. They all will get one shot whenever they get hit, which is super good. Obviously, if you're doing a stage that has super high HP, that ability is definitely gonna like carry you. It's gonna be amazing for infinite. Any like really long event. Aizen's biggest problem is his cost. He costs 25,000 to place down, and it costs 500,000 to max out. You can basically get a Vegito down onto the game before you can max out an Aizen, which is crazy. He's magic dark, so that's pretty good. So with that, guys, that basically wraps up how to get every secret and what every secret does. Every secret that's currently available in the game. After a secret goes away, they're actually still obtainable. They're tradable. So like people like Gilgamesh, people like Lelouch, they're all going to be tradable still. But these are just the ones that you can still currently grind now as of the 24th of January. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.